Hi everyone, it's Dave and Olive. Thanks for joining us here at Book Blather. So, I never thought that we would do a video like this. When we joined BookTube, I just wanted to talk about books. And I never thought we'd do one like this for two reasons. One, because it's kind of a tag. And, up until a couple months ago, we didn't like tags. We never did tags. And so I never thought I'd be making one. And also, because this touches on drama. And drama is something that we've always stayed very far away from. Olive and I don't like drama. And we've never been involved in any BookTube drama, and we've never even referenced or commented on any drama. So I thought about it a bit, whether we should really do this. But Olive felt very strongly about it. Really was insisting. And so after some further contemplation about what this video would be, I realized that she was right, as she usually is. So, what prompted us to do this video at this time was that there is just recently, a few days ago, this past week, another major BookTube drama, which has caused at least one, maybe two established BookTubers to step away, at least for a bit. And I'm not going to get into who they are if you don't know, because I don't want to draw any more attention to it. And we're not going to get into the substance of it, because a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about it. But one of those BookTubers, I think, is one of the best BookTubers out there, and is our favorite BookTuber, and that we watch pretty much every day. And we were really very saddened to see this. So, we've been on BookTube about a year and a half now, and been astonished at the amount of BookTube drama that there's been during that time. I've seen a lot of nasty comments, videos that are personal attacks on others. I've seen repeatedly people that were friends end up going to war with each other publicly in their videos. I've seen videos, the main theme of which was problematic BookTubers or BookTube frauds. And there's even some channels that are devoted to BookTube drama. And when we started BookTube, we thought it was about the books. And what we've learned in this last year and a half is that it's not just about the books, and that's great. We've learned that people are seen to be coming BookTube for a lot of different reasons. People are coming looking for just people that have something in common with them, looking to make friendships, seeking community, and even sometimes just trying to find support when they're having emotional or mental struggles that they're dealing with. And these books can be a vehicle for all of those things, because it gets us talking, because it's something that we all love and share in common, and it's something we're able to all talk about together easily. But there's also an awful lot of drama and negativity, and which is surprising in a community that can sometimes be so supportive. And that drama and negativity has, at times just devastated people and driven some people to walk away. And, to a certain extent, we get it. Some people, for some, they're just very upset and want to voice their opinions. And, for some, it sells. Right? It's like the train crash. A lot of people want to watch it. And it gets views. And so, people are entitled to do what they want with their channels, and we're not going to presume to tell people what they should or shouldn't. And and in fact, that's one of the problems that causes some of these dramas is people telling other people what they should or should not do. So freedom of expression, freedom of speech, all that, we get it. But that's just not the part of BookTube that Olive and I want to participate in. So we're going to do something different. And today, that's why we created this tag, is because we want to try to spread a little kindness. And there are those on BookTube that do that. Some of them that do it every day and on a regular basis. And we created this tag so that we could maybe help facilitate that a little bit and really try to emphasize that side of BookTube. So we calling this the BookTube Kindness Shoutout Tag, and we just want to mention it's not, there's only a few prompts, but we wanted to mention a couple of people that we think on BookTube that have demonstrated the utmost kindness and are real examples of the best that BookTube can be. So this is it. Like I said, the BookTube Kindness Shoutout Tag, we called it. So the first one was someone who has shown incredible kindness, devoting their time to authors. And for this, we wanted to mention someone that is not actually too active these days, and this is Nikki at Dark Between Pages. Nikki is someone that has devoted an incredible amount of time to showcasing authors and doing interviews for authors, small press and independently published authors in particular, and to the extent that her channel was almost exclusively that. And she has devoted so much time and put in so much effort to getting these authors exposure. And it is just a really selfless thing that she has done for a long time. She herself has stepped away from BookTube for a while. But not that long ago, she did another video with another author, and I hope it's a sign that she comes back, because she really is one of those individuals that has really contributed a lot to this community. Okay, and the next prompt is someone who has shown incredible kindness, devoting their time to other BookTubers. And for this, we wanted to mention Regina St. Clair. Now, Regina, if you don't know who she is, Regina lives a very busy life, and she's a BookTuber, and or YouTuber, and she is also a very prolific author. But what she has also done for the BookTube community is she has each year, this is the third year she is doing it, she is putting out an anthology of horror short stories, basically for the HorrorTube sub-community. And these are stories that are written only by BookTubers. And she gives all the proceeds to charity. So she devotes all of her time solely just so all these BookTubers can be published. BookTubers that maybe wouldn't BookTubers that maybe wouldn't have another opportunity to be published. She helps all these BookTubers get published by doing this, and as I said, keeps nothing for herself, but spends. It's publishing an anthology like this there's a lot of steps, and it's not an easy project, and so she devotes an incredible amount of time to do this, which again is a very selfless, very generous thing of her to do. The third prompt is someone who has shown incredible kindness, devoting their time to everyone. And for this, we wanted to mention Steve over at Steve Talks Books. Now, Steve is gotta be the hardest working BookTuber that I've ever seen. He lives a regular life outside of BookTube, right? He's got a full-time job, he's got a family, but he it is unbelievable the time and effort that he puts in to BookTube, on the BookTube channel, and the podcast, and the forums that he runs. And he must not sleep. He puts so much time into this. And most of his channel is centered around giving other people time. Authors, BookTubers, everyone. You know, he is constantly inviting people onto his channel, often for all different sorts of things, interviews, conversations, often very lengthy discussions. And I mean, he puts an incredible amount of time into giving all these other people the opportunity to have some exposure. And it's really, I'm sure there are others that I don't know about, but I have not seen anybody devote as much time to other people in this community, all the other types of people in this community, as much as Steve. Okay, the next one is someone who has shown incredible kindness sharing other people's content. And the person that I wanted to mention for this, and there, I hate to mention only one, because there are a lot of people that shout other people out and mention others, but one that does particularly come to mind is Emily Terry. She is, she tags other people in tags, and she mentions other people, but she tries to give other people exposure so much to the extent that she will promote other people's content in her other social media. And so, I don't see a lot of people try, go that extra step and take that effort to do that for others. And it's really cool. And she's the sweetest thing. She's a horror lover. But it's funny about sometimes these people that love horror, they're some of the kindest people you'll ever meet. And so she reviews a lot of horror stuff, and so she's also constantly reviewing independent or small press horror writers and giving them exposure as well. So she's so kind about it, and it's just the sweetest thing. And then the last prompt here is someone who has shown incredible kindness trying to uplift other booktubers. And for that, we wanted to mention MJ at Reading This Life. And MJ has a pretty diverse channel, but every Sunday she has a special episode called Support Small Booktubers. She does it every week. She's probably done it 25 times now. And every Sunday she will profile several very small booktubers, ones that are very small, usually under 100 subscribers. And she researches them. She doesn't just name them. She researches them, lets people know what they're about, some of the videos they've done, what their content is, with links, of course, to direct them to these people, just to try to give them, these people that are trying to get a start when it's so hard in the beginning, to give them a boost. And it's a wonderful thing that she does. Okay, so that was the 5 prompts. So I mentioned some booktubers, but of course BookTube would not be BookTube without the viewers, right? The viewers are a critical part of what make BookTube a success in the BookTube community. And in particular, the booktubers that leave, the viewers that leave comments. Those comments are a lot more important, I think, than a lot of people know. Because number one, just because they initiate or propel a lot of dialogue about the books and the themes in the books that we all want to talk about, and also just because they provide a lot of motivation to the booktubers that keep them going, that make booktubers continue to believe that what they do and all the effort that they put in is worthwhile. And so you should never underestimate that. So. There was a couple of and there are so many viewers who comment that are a great, whether they comment or not, they're a great support to the community. And there are so many of them. But there are a few that I wanted to call out that I think are a little that go a little above and beyond. The first one is Priscilla Bettis, and she's an author herself, but she is so very supportive of the BookTube community. She watches so many BookTubers videos. She puts so much time into that, and so much time into commenting. She leaves so many people so many comments. I just want to back up for a minute and say that these BookTubers that I mentioned, I'm not mentioning these BookTubers because they watch all of our videos. Most of them don't, and not because they watch a lot of people, all of certain people's videos. It's not the viewing, although viewing quantity certainly helps BookTubers. It's really the commenting and the content of the comments that, in our view, is really the most important. And some of these BookTubers just really, some of these viewers just really demonstrate a lot of kindness in the comments that they leave. So I mentioned Priscilla. She's one that's very supportive. Another that I wanted to mention is Caleb Hirsch. And I'm sorry if I mispronounce anybody's names. But Caleb is a very energetic viewer and commenter. He is always leaving great comments that are they're just really happy, filled with a lot of energy. The type of comments that really pump people up about their videos and their channels. Another one I want to mention is Toby, who I only know as Tobias K. But Toby is also a pretty frequent commenter for a lot of people, and but Toby's comments, at least on our channel, have been. He has also left comments that are of a more personal nature about our channel and about our style, which we really appreciate, and it means a lot to us when people leave those kind of comments. It means a lot to the BookTuber in terms of what they're doing, and that some people are receiving it well. They're just very kind comments. And then I would be remiss if I didn't mention for the last one, I keep saying BookTuber, the viewers whose comment meant the most to us, and that was Janice Grosso. And she, we all have different comments that mean different things to us, and some of them are just things that we needed to hear at the right time. Janice has left us a few comments, but there's a particular comment that she left, and it wasn't very long and it wasn't very deep, but it was very thoughtful and kind, and it was one that I always remember, and I think it was one that I needed to hear then. It just happens to be the one that meant the most to me. And I mention that because, for the viewers out there, don't ever underestimate the importance that a single comment can have on a BookTuber, and really help them with the motivation that they need to keep going, keep doing what they do. That was it. If you've watched this video and you're a BookTuber, you're tagged. We really, Olive and I really think that the best way to beat back negativity is to kill it with kindness. And so we hope that you do this tag, or another version of this tag. It doesn't need to be this tag, and it doesn't need to be this prompts. You can come up with your own prompts. But something that will talk about other people in the community that you believe have demonstrated kindness, because the people that we just mentioned today that's only from our small corner of BookTube, and I know there have to be countless of other people out there that have shown incredible kindness, and I hope other people will do this tag or make up their own similar prompts in order to showcase those people, so that we can help spread the kindness. Now, if you any of these people that we've just mentioned today, if you have a different opinion for any reason that I can't imagine why, and you feel like you want to say something negative about them, don't leave that in the comments. And if you think you know something about any of the people that, you know, we were referencing when we were talking about drama generally, and you feel compelled to say something negative about those specific individuals, don't. If Olive sees any of those comments, she's going to delete them. And Olive has never deleted a single comment, but that's not what we're doing today. Today, we are only spreading kindness. And so, we'll leave you with this. There's a famous quote and about the things in life that you can never recover. And there's different versions of it. Some of them are, it's said different ways, and some of them it's the 4 things or the 5 things. But it goes something like this. You know, the 5 things in life that you can never fully recover are an opportunity once it's missed, time once it's passed, trust once it's lost, and a stone once it's thrown, and a word once it's spoken. And I think we can all do a lot better by each other if we remember those last 2. Especially in this world of social media where everything goes out there into the void for forever. If we can remember those last 2 and think very carefully before we throw stones and before we say those harsh words, you know, I think that we can really do a lot better by each other and really just spread a lot more kindness. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. We have some other, you know, we have a book haul to do and some bookstore footage and some book reviews, of course, and even a couple tags. But we wanted to do this first. So we'll see you soon. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you next time.